copy of it. So I appreciate everybody taking some time out of this Thursday to join us. We're going to be talking about will your cyber insurance pay for your ransomware outbreak? So we're going to be going over the 5 biggest mistakes that business owners, executive directors make when it comes to cyber insurance and how to avoid them. So before we get started, I'm going to be going over steps that you can take to protect your business. Do me a favor and grab something to write with. This isn't only to write down these points I'm going to give you, but also if you have any questions, jot them down or just type them into the chat inside Zoom here, and I'll answer them at the end. So really, first off, why the heck do you care what I have to say? You know, what makes me the expert? Why are you joining to find out this information? Well, we're partners with an organization that has run over 2,000 assessments in the last 12 months. That's a stunning amount. By running this many assessments, we found a lot of commonalities, so we know what they look like now. So we put this together to help educate people. So our goal, our team, is on a mission to protect people and their data. And this discussion and free analysis is part of that mission. So before we get rolling, I know there are some of you here today who we've never met. So for those folks, let me briefly introduce us. We're Zog Incorporated. Matt Zolio, our CEO, founded us 23 years ago, back in 1999, with the idea of delivering intelligent IT solutions to small and medium-sized businesses and nonprofits. Our company has won multiple awards, such as being listed in the Philly 100 and Inc. 5000 for fastest growing companies. And Matt was personally selected as a recipient of the Philadelphia 40 Under 40. And one of his proudest accomplishments was authoring his book, The Secret to Finding Honest, Competent, Responsive IT Services. And for the record, we still have our first client that we ever signed up. So we're pretty proud of that. So before we get too far along, I know some people think, I don't need ransomware. I'm a small business. I'm not that big. I'm not on anybody's radar for that. I don't need ransomware insurance. Well, you never see small businesses in the news with this, right? So why do you think you never see small businesses in the news with a ransomware locking up all their data and keeping them from using their computers? Well, it happens. It happens a lot. So a couple weeks ago, our security team helped a small law firm. I would actually call them more like a micro law firm. We helped them recover from a ransomware event. They had just 2 computers. They had some data in the cloud, and really that was it. They ended up being down for 7 days, and they still paid the ransom. So not only did they lose money from the ransom, they couldn't operate for 7 days. It was horrible. So all businesses are at risk. It's happening to all sorts of businesses, from small business, big business, business in the cloud, business with servers, even those who don't think that they need their data on a day-to-day basis. The problem is they're all having to pay ransom, right? So what do? Well, you transfer the risk to an insurance company. That's what you do. You get your cyber insurance. Well, the thing is, it's not standard policy. It's not covered under your normal business interruption insurance. It's going to have to be its own separate policy. And of course, there are dozens of companies that are writing these type of cyber insurance policies. But here's the thing that you already know about insurance companies. They hate paying ransoms. They don't want to pay out. So what do they do about it? We're seeing this more and more. Organizations and businesses of all sizes are getting hit. These cyber insurance policies have to pay out. So what are the insurance companies doing about it? They're assessing networks and denying claims now. So when you get hit with a ransomware, they will come in and evaluate and assess your network. And if you don't have some things set up before you were hit, they may not pay out. So here's how they're addressing it. They're sending out questionnaires like what you see here. Simple, seems very simple, yes and no. They're asking questions to understand what you have in place. Now, these questions are getting harder, and this is where a lot of the biggest mistakes come from. So whether it's through a lack of knowledge or a form, this form that's quickly filled out, it's easy for a company to overstate how much they're protecting themselves. When the information on that form doesn't line up with what was really happening, that's when the grounds for rejections occur. So what are they looking for? We're going to be going through the top 5 questions, and if you can't answer yes to these, you not only have a problem when it comes to getting your insurance or your insurance renewed, you're putting your livelihood and reputation at risk. So the 5-question test. Do you have MFA for email and sensitive information? Do you have backups, and are you sure that they're working? Do you have up-to-date active antivirus installed on all the computers? Do you have a written, documented breach response plan? And do you have up-to-date active firewall technology? So what happens? What are the 5 things that business owners get wrong, right? You want to answer yes to these questions, but if you answer yes to these on that form and you don't actually have them, it's like getting a new health or a new life insurance policy while having a pre-existing condition that you don't tell them about. So I'm going to go through and show you how you can check each of these yourself and give you a way to know for sure that you have all the controls in place to make sure that you're eligible for cyber insurance, protecting your data properly. So first off, do you have multi-factor authentication set up for your email, your sensitive information, and your applications? This one's kind of easy to check. So when you access your email or you remote into systems, are you prompted for more than just a password? For example, do you pull out your phone and hit yes or type in a code on your phone that the app gives you? Then you have MFA. If not, you need it. Second, do you have backups and are you sure that they're working? The best way to know if you have good backups is to actually test them, right? That makes backups a little bit more challenging. If you don't have time to check to make sure that things are working with your backups, ask the people who are responsible and get them to report back to you. We recommend testing your backups at least once a month. If you haven't tested your backups, it's pretty much safe to assume that you don't have any backups. Moving on, do you have up-to-date active antivirus installed on all your computers? We find that around 20% of the networks have missing antivirus. Right now, the easiest way for you to check on your personal machine is, go down on the right-hand corner of your screen and hover over all those little icons. Look for something that says either antivirus or endpoint protection, things like that. Now, what we found is a lot of groups simply buy PCs, get them set up, and they run with the pre-installed Norton or McAfee. They pay a one-time fee 4 years ago, and they think that they're still safe and protected. They're not. You need active, up-to-date antivirus. So do you have a well-written, documented breach response plan? So if you're the business owner, you're the executive director, maybe you're the CFO listening right now, and you aren't sure, well, you need to find out. Because as the person in charge, you have to be involved in the communication. And if you aren't aware of the plan or know the plan during a breach event or something like that, who's going to lead? What's the steps? What do you do? So you need to make sure that you have a breach response plan and you've practiced it. And finally, and this one seems simple, do you have active up-to-date firewall technology? Now, this is a little easier to know in a way because you would know if you have installed a firewall in the last 2 years and are paying a subscription for it. If you're not paying a subscription for it, it's not active, it's not up to date, that 5-year-old firewall is not securing your network anymore. So make sure that you have an up-to-date active firewall. All right. So if you couldn't answer yes to every one of those questions, or you know for sure, you're going to struggle to find an insurance provider to cover you, or you'll find one that'll cover you, but you're going to have a tremendous premium. You're going to pay a lot for it. So again, do you have an MFA for email, sensitive information, all the important applications that you use? Do you use QuickBooks? Does that use MFA? Things like that. Do you have backups running? And are they working? Are you testing them? Testing them is the flip side of the coin to making sure you have backups. Do you have active, up-to-date antivirus? Do you have that well-written and documented breach response plan? And do you have up-to-date active firewall technology? So I mentioned at the beginning of this presentation that we have a way that you could figure this stuff out simply and easily. But how, right? Your IT people shouldn't be proofreading their own work. I'm sure you have people that you rely on to make sure these things are in place for you, but they shouldn't be proofreading their own work. No one should be responsible for proofreading their own work. So here's what you can do. We can go in and perform a complete assessment of your cybersecurity stack without installing any software. We don't need administrative credentials. We can do this free third-party cyber insurance readiness assessment. All you got to do is go to our website, zoginc.com/insurance. Now, you might be thinking, this isn't really my job. I have people that are doing this for me. But here's the thing. Keeping your company secure is everybody's responsibility. Even as just taking the simple steps I shared with you here a little earlier. So are you completely protected? Yes, you probably think that you are. You have somebody that does this for you, but are you absolutely sure that you're completely protected from ransomware, from hackers, from those bad agents? You'd love to answer yes, I'm sure that you are secure. Then I have a simple step. Do you have to get your IT department involved in this step? Well, that's something I'm asked all the time. The answer to that is it's completely up to you. But if you'd like to know how they're actually doing, you could do this evaluation without engaging them. If you'd like to give them a chance to prepare themselves, by all means, let's get them engaged as well. We'll get them as part of the discussion. But think about it this way. Do you think hackers give your IT department or your IT partner a chance to prepare before they hack your network? Kind of makes you think. So again, we don't need administrative credentials. We don't need that type of access. We don't install anything on your network either. It's a very simple assessment tool that we use. We don't change any of the settings or install anything. So what will we do? We'll send you a simple tool that'll analyze your network. Then after that, we're going to meet with you and review the results with you in plain English. And finally, we give you some simple steps that you can take to protect yourself and your data. You can take care of this yourself, engage us, bring back your partner. So I said I'm doing this for free. We're doing this for free. Why are we doing this for free? It sounds weird. What's the catch? Well, there is one little catch. We don't do this for free for everyone. We're only able to do this for free 5 times a month, right? So 5 free assessments a month to new parties that we're talking to. Anyone after the first 5 who signs up, we can put you on a wait list and get to you after that. Or, if it's a little bit more urgent, you want to kind of jump to the front of the row, we can do that as well. Typically, this type of analysis, we charge $3,000 for. So again, we want to help protect people and their data. That's our mission. We've been doing this for 23 years. We love doing it. And here's what you can do. If you want to make sure you have all your ducks in a row, get the list of items you need to approve on, go to our website, zoginc.com/insurance. We'll get you set up with that third-party cyber insurance readiness assessment. So I know I ran through that pretty quick. We do, it seems, have a few questions here. Let me see. Oh, well, how much does cyber insurance cost? Well, we don't offer cyber insurance, so I can't really tell you how much that would cost. But what I can tell you is that the cost is really going to depend on the type of business you run, the size of the business, and really the level of cyber risks you're exposed to. So do you have personal identifiable information, credit card information, health records? A lot goes into that. Let's see what else here. So, okay. So would my cyber insurance protect me if an employee caused the attack? Typically, yes. Again, we don't offer cyber insurance packages, but typically, yes. Even if, say, an employee clicked on a phishing email and that opened the network up to ransomware, yes, typically they're going to be, those policies would be paid out as long as you had all those ducks in a row. And if I don't have cyber insurance, what would it cost out of pocket to pay for cyber attack damages? Oh, well, there's a lot that goes into that. There's the ransom itself that you pay. There's the cost of downtime. So how much does it cost you for every hour that you're down, every day that you're down? If you're down for a week, how much of an economic impact does that have on you? And that's not even talking about reputation and client base leaving and things like that. So the cost, it's heavy. It's heavy, to put it bluntly. And let me just see. It looks like. So do they ever find the bad guys? There are significant funds sent to people who disrupt business. Sometimes, right? Sometimes they do. We do hear those cases where the U.S. federal government will go in and indict, will track down the bad actors, right? The bad hats, and will attempt to bring them to justice. More often than not, these people are almost never caught. They're in other countries. There's no extradition laws. They're just never caught. That doesn't happen all that much, unfortunately. But good question. All right, everybody. I know that was very brief. I know we ran through the 5 steps that you can use, that you can have to protect your network. As a minimum, these are the 5 things that you want to have in place. Now, depending on your unique business, your unique entity, your nonprofit, you may need a couple other things in place to really secure things down. But this is the 5 basic things that you need to have in place to have any sense of network security these days. So again, I appreciate everybody's time. Thank you so much. I know we're all busy these days. We never seem to have enough hours in the day. So I appreciate you taking these 30 minutes to chat. If you have any other questions, reach out to me. You can email me at pmiller@zoginc.com. Give me a call. Sign up at zoginc.com/insurance, and we'll get you in touch with our cyber readiness team. Thank you, everybody. Enjoy your day.